Ministers today met with the heads and senior officials of African tax administrations and other global institutions to discuss challenges to African tax policies. The African Tax Administration Forum has partnered with Korea to increase the awareness and importance of sovereignty of domestic resource mobilization.
The role of ATAF is to assist in the building of capable and efficient revenue authorities across the continent. One of the biggest challenges for Africa is to collect taxes within domestic economies that is due, and the collection of those taxes can largely fund Africa's own development.
The forum attracted leading fiscal organizations and speakers such as the African Development Bank, South Africa's Deputy Minister of Finance Nhlanhla Nene, and the SARS Commissioner Oupa Magashule.
It's a very important conference from a point of view that if you look at tax as a percentage of GDP across the continent, it's still in most instances in single digits. For south of the Sahara, we're just starting on double digits, but in the lower tens of the double digits. So what it means is the amount of money that governments across the continent are mobilizing are very low.
Over the past 3 decades, Africa has lost about $1 trillion in capital outflow, largely as a result of losses that could have been generated if African revenue authorities were able to capture this. And there's a lot of reasons why we are not able to catch the revenue that is due.
With many North African countries facing corruption in government, issues such as internal corruption and tax evasion were at the forefront of the discussion.
The thing that has precipitated collapses of government across North Africa and the Asian region is not necessarily because of lack of resources. It's exactly because of the appropriation of the resources. To say people are feeling that they are alienated from their own democracies, they are alienated from their decision making, from shaping the future of their own countries. And once taxpayers feel that they are not participating adequately, they will take to the streets, they will form and execute the revolutions. You see?
Using Korea as a case study, leaders have collaborated to find effective solutions in today's economic climate.
African economies are also predicted to grow at the annual rate of 5.8% over the next decade.
This conference, I think, comes at a very important time, so that we can also, as South Africans and as Africans, be able to liberate ourselves, be able to pay for our own aspirations. I think it's a very important thing. It's quite liberating to make your own policy, plan your priorities, execute them without having to satisfy the conditions, of donors, people that you lend money from. So it's important for self-realization. I mean, the same way that Korea did it. Korea mobilized, it was driven by manufacturing, very highly skilled people. So this conference happens at a time that I think, for the next millennium, where Africa is looking forward to really improving its own development.
The African Tax Administration Forum and Korea's Ministry of Finance convened today in Cape Town, South Africa, to discuss the challenges of African tax policy and administration. With over 34 countries in attendance, the forum was well represented.